always somebody around you to log yourself in. I have, oh my, you were just on time. I was just getting ready to call you. I've got Ambassador, Coast Valley, Desert Sky, South Coast, South Valley, Victory. Hearing none, roll call is complete. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hodge. Next on our agenda is introduction of guests. First, I would like to introduce from the CIF State Office, Associate Executive Director Brian Seymour. In the back there. Come on, Brian, stand in. Thank you. Next, we have several members of our Southern Section Executive Committee. If you would mind standing up, please, and introducing yourself and what group you represent. Mr. Barnum, you sit up first. You can start.
Thank you. Terry Barnum, Harvard Westlake School, at-large rep.
Come around over here. Matt.
Matt Diaz, San Antonio, Boise City, rep.
Mary Perez, Emerald High School, at-large rep.
Kyle Lyles, Beaumont High School, Ciceville area rep. Joe Gomez, Eastside High School, Desert rep. Dimitri Howard, Longdale High School, Coast area rep.
Mary Jane Woodward, Orange County rep, Arlington High School. Alicia Sievers, Orange High School, Girls Lady rep.
See no others. Mr. Simmons, do we have any other guests in the audience?
From the Orange County Register, we have Mr. Steve Ryan. From the Los Angeles Times, we have Mr. Eric Sondheim.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Commissioner, do we have any other guests that you're aware of?
No, so much.
Thank you, sir. All right. Moving on, at this time I would entertain a motion to adopt today's agenda. Again, please make sure that you state the name so that Ms. Hodge can record that. Entertain a motion to adopt today's agenda. Big 8, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Southwestern.
Thank you, Southwestern. Is there any discussion on today's agenda? All right, seeing none, Ms. Hodge, can you please call the vote?
Voting is open. Ten seconds. Voting is closed. Motion carries 85-0-0.
Thank you, Ms. Hodge. Next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes from our March 27th, 2025 council meeting. At this time, I would entertain a motion.
Motion, Big 8.
Thank you, Big 8. Do I have a second?
Second, Southwestern.
Second from Southwestern. Thank you. Is there any discussion of the minutes from the March 27th meeting? Okay, seeing none. Ms. Hodge, please call the vote.
Voting is open. Seconds. Voting is closed. Motion carries 85-1-0.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on our agenda is public hearing and public comment. Mr. Simmons, do we have anyone for public comment today?
Not this time,
Thank you, sir. Moving quickly down our agenda for non-action items, we have no State Federated Council non-action items, nor do we have any Southern Section non-action items. Moving on to action items, we have no State Federated Council non-action action items, excuse me, and we have several Southern Section action items for our releaguing plans. You'll see there that we have a number of releaguing appeals. Before we move into those releaguing appeals, I want to remind everyone that the appeals proposals should be based on competitive equity, geography, and enrollment. We have a process for how we will go through each of these relieving appeals to be heard. This was emailed out to all of the different Orange County, yes, schools that will be speaking in front of us today. I'm going to go over that for you all so that everyone is aware of how this will proceed. I'm sorry? You want to come up and tell them what you want them to do? Okay. So first, we'll take a motion on approval for the relieving plans. They're listed on number 1 on the items. I would entertain a motion at this point to approve the relieving plans. I'm sorry, Mission Valley League, thank you. Do I have a second? Valamaris? Thank you. Discussion. Yes, we do have to approve this before we can have our discussions of these, remember. Okay. Let's go ahead and call the vote, please.
Voting is open. Seconds. Voting is closed. Motion carries 83-3.
Thank you, Ms. Hodge. Now, for the relieving appeals, the process again is based on competitive equity, geography, and enrollment. The way the appeals will be heard is that the original area proposal or any proposals resulting from the appeal by a member school will be voted upon at this council meeting. The procedure will be as follows. The original area proposal is voted. This is really small, Mr. Craig. Voted upon first. I got it, Mike. Thank you. I just had to adjust my glasses. Must first secure a majority vote for passage. A tie vote would not be considered passage. If the original proposal received a necessary majority vote, appeals may be heard from affected schools in the area. The council at large will conduct voting on alternate proposals. Any proposal receiving a majority vote at council is final. Appeals are submitted and heard individually and not as a group. The council appeals are as follows. Appeal presentations by the name and the position at the school, first by the appellant and then by the relieving chair. We would then have a motion to approve the appeal as introduced, followed by a second. Questions, clarifications, and information from council members and representatives only from schools potentially affected by the area from which the appeal comes. The appellant will have a final opportunity to address the council. We will then call for the vote by the electronic voting, and this decision by the council is final. Appeals may be removed from the agenda only by the school leadership who authorized the appeal. Are there questions on how that process will work? Okay. Moving to our first relieving appeal with Cortola High School. Come on up here, Cortola, all the way up.
Adjust myself. Not gonna lie, it's a little intimidating being up here. First of all, I just want to apologize for taking your time on this. We have been trying to resolve this within our area for the last few relieving cycles. And we thought we did have it resolved last spring when we did have a vote in the area that addressed our request for relief. And then we had an appeal process after that time, and that's what led us here today, because things got changed around. My words will be brief. Hopefully everybody had an opportunity to look at the appeal that was outlined in the packet. I'm the first of the 5 Irvine schools up here. We all have the same argument, and so hopefully we'll see what your thoughts are on this today. Members of the council, we appeal today not for special treatment, but for fairness and for the consistent application of the CIF bylaws. The Orange County relieving process contains serious procedural errors that produced an unworkable outcome for us, reversed a valid decision, and violated CIF-Southern section standards. 3 procedural failures define this case. Number 1, the improper invalidation of a valid vote. Last spring, the committee correctly voted to move Irvine schools into the Coast View Conference. That was a legitimate decision that addressed our request for relief. When 2 schools appealed, the committee should have adjusted for them specifically. Instead, it restarted the entire process, giving a minority veto power over a valid democratic outcome. Number 2, violation of the area's own voting bylaws. Once proposals were narrowed down to 7 schools, bylaws required only the lowest vote getter to be eliminated each round. Instead, 2 proposals were improperly eliminated in 1 round, including both that would have placed our schools in viable leagues. The violation removed fair options from consideration. Finally, coming back to the president's first comment around school enrollments. In CIF bylaw 501 on enrollments, the bylaw requires grouping schools of similar size to preserve programmatic compatibility. Irvine schools average more than 2,300 students in each school. Our athletic programs depend on full freshman and JV pipelines. Small schools in the PCC averaging under 700 students often cannot field multiple levels. Placing us together undermines the intent of this bylaw and makes a functional league impossible. The result of these failures is clear. Thousands of student athletes lose meaningful competition, particularly at the freshman and JV levels where development matters the most. This compromises the educational mission of athletics in our schools. The remedy is simple and minimally disruptive. We ask that we're reinstated the original valid decision to place the Irvine schools in the CBAA conference. This honors the committee's first correct vote, resolves the appeals of 2 schools, and leaves a viable Pacific Coast League intact. Council members, this is about more than 1 league. It's about the integrity of our process. Please uphold the bylaws, correct the errors, and place our schools where they belong within the Coast View Conference, who are, by the way, have been from the very beginning willing to take us into the conference. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Lopez?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Paul Lopez, principal of Fountain Valley High School and the Orange County Relieving Chair. Yes, we went through the process the first time, and we did come up with an Orange County alignment that went to vote and passed. But then we had 2 appeals. Those 2 appeals remanded the process go back to the area. I chose at that time to open it up again. Yes, I didn't take the 2 schools that wanted relief and just place them in a league. We did not do that. At that point, I decided as the Orange County Releaguing Chair to open up the process again. And the reason I did that is because there are different ways to solve somebody's problem, to address the different appeals. So opening it back up again, we went through the process. And the process is very transparent with the proposals that are brought forward. We went through and we voted, and I don't remember if it got down to 7, if we eliminated 2. I didn't think we had done that because I think we were pretty good on the dais of making sure that only 1 dropped off. Maybe that happened, I did not check that. Anyway, moving forward, we came up with another alignment for the Orange County area that does provide relief for the 2 schools that won their appeal at executive committee. However, it put us back to where we started. And the last releaguing cycle, which I was not the chair, there was a lot of movement within the area in creating conferences, and I think what was done was pretty well done with where people ended up. Anyway, it went back to the original Orange County alignment, and then moving Pacifica Christian into the Pacific Coast Conference, and which it seemed like a fair place for them to land anyway. So as far as the asking for relief, yes, the Irvine schools did ask for relief, and it was based on lower level competition and development of athletes and different things like that. It was not on varsity competition. So, and I don't know, again, competitive equity, I guess, can be looked at in many different ways. So ultimately we voted on that. There was movement back, yes, it was changed, and that's why we end up here today in the Irvine schools, looking for relief and placement into another conference or league. So that was the process. Like I said, we went through it. It was transparent. Everybody got to vote on every proposal. Felt like we did it the fair way. In the past, nobody has said anything about the process or there was anything wrong with the process. So, but we're here today to decide if that's where we should go.
Thank you. At this point, we would need a motion to approve the appeal.
Move to approve.
I'm sorry, what league was that? Pacific Hills.
Crestview second.
Who was the first one to say second? I'm sorry.
Crestview second.
Crestview second. Any discussion? Right. This is when anybody who wants to ask questions. Yes, now is your time to come up to the mic.
Presentations come up to this mic, please.
To this mic. Up
Just
here.
general questions will stay that way.
Presentations, yes. No, it's not.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Megan Sid. I am the Director of Athletics at Sage Hill School. We are part of the Pacific Coast Conference. Sage Hill is also the President's School at the Pacific Coast Conference this year. Obviously, we are affected by this appeal and all appeals that follow today. And so we wanted to speak a little bit about why we think that the proposal that was passed at the Orange County Releaguing area should stand, and also why the conference should stay together, and why we are respectfully requesting for you to vote no on this appeal. As you heard, when we're looking at releaguing, we need to look at it from 3 different lenses: competitive equity, geography, and school enrollment. And so when we're looking at competitive equity at the Pacific Coast Conference, I also believe that data is extremely important, and the source of that data is also very important when you're looking at it. I do have data to share. I have copies if anybody wants to see it. I wasn't able to project it today. But our data comes from the Pacific Coast Conference statistician, Frank Aronoff, and we actually as a conference pay Frank to keep this data. All the data comes from the schools of the PCC, goes to Frank, and then we pay him to basically keep our data updated and current throughout the year. I tried to summarize it. I do have lots of spreadsheets that if you want to take a look at, I have copies of. But summarizing the data, basically in the Pacific Coast Conference, we are able to offer at least one league at all sports, at all levels, with the exception of 3 sports, and only at the frosh soft level. And that's in girls basketball, girls soccer, and girls water polo. And that's because 4 or less schools offer those at only the frosh soft level. I know we're not talking about league championships, but I think that when you talk about competitive equity, league championships is a part of that. And so again, this data comes from our conference statistician, and in 2024-25, every single school in the Pacific Coast Conference had at least 3 league championships. So no one's really running away with it, no one's losing everything. It feels like it's fairly balanced as far as that goes. We believe that this, along with the leagues that we're able to offer in the Pacific Coast Conference, provides a balance of competitive equity. We also believe that in the re-leaguing process, Pacifica Christian got added into our conference, and so we believe that this also helps with the balance of competitive equity. It makes us a conference of 10 schools, and they also add more teams and more levels to be able to compete. The second lens that you look at is through geography, and we know that we have a couple of schools in our conference that are a bit of outliers. We have Rosary at one end of the county, and we have St. Margaret's at the other end of the county. But as a whole, most schools in the Pacific Coast Conference for each league game don't have to travel more than 10 miles, an average of 10 miles to their league games. Final lens is school enrollment, and I know this is kind of the one that's out there, and I feel like this one's a little bit tricky because I feel like most of the time when you're talking about school enrollment, you're looking at small schools looking for relief from larger schools. And we almost have it a little bit backwards in this, where we have the larger schools looking for relief from smaller schools. And I don't really have any data on that, but that's just what's happening. So we believe that the proposal that was passed at the Orange County area by the majority of Orange County schools is we're advocating for you to all support that and respectfully asking that you vote no on this appeal today.
Are there any other presentations from this area before we go to questions? Thank you, Mr. President.
Line for me. Perfect.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jason Allman. I'm the principal at Laguna Beach High School. And as my colleague from Sage Hill stated, we are fully in alignment with those sentiments. We feel that Mr. Lopez executed a fair process, both in the initial re-leaguing and also the second cycle that we had to go through. I also like the room to be mindful that this was initiated by, we exist in the Pacific Coast, and our appeal was initiated by our placement in the Century League, which had us almost triple time traveling to our new league, which was woefully inappropriate for us, and that is the reason we appealed that. That initial proposal was submitted by our friends in the Irvine Unified School District. And while I respect their position here this morning, I do, like Sage, agree with the current placement as a viable option for all of us. Thank you.
Tim Walsh from OCU High School, and the members of the Golden Empire Conference are with me. And a lot of the points that Megan Sid brought up, I don't want to repeat them, I don't want to waste your time, but they're very, very fair. Excuse me. And you know, our conversation throughout the re-leaguing process obviously focused on the competitive equity piece, the enrollment piece, and geography piece. Excuse me. And we felt like every decision we made, we kept that. Every decision we made, we had that in mind. And there was an argument and presentation by the Irvine schools about their definition of what competitive equity was and how they wanted relief for the lower levels. There was great conversation multiple times. And the process that Mr. Lopez ran was solid. It was the way it was supposed to be. And if anyone knows what an appeal should look like, it's the Orange County Schools, because they've seen multiple appeals happen. And he ran it well. And we came up with a vote at the very end where 67% of the schools in Orange County felt like this was the right thing to do. We felt like that the Irvine schools' argument about lower levels was not backed up by the facts that were presented by Frank Aronoff, the statistician for the league, that there were lower level teams. We are very sympathetic to the athletic directors at every school in Orange County, in the southern section, that have to deal with not enough frosh-off schools and JV schools, because we all are dealing with that now. In the Golden West League, in the Golden Empire Conference, we have far more than 3 lower level leagues that can't fill levels. And girls soccer, Seegers from high school there's only the frosh-off in their leagues. They have to find 28 games, and they find them. In girls basketball, Tustin High School, there's only 2 frosh-off. They have 1 league opponent. They gotta find games, they find them. It's not ideal, it's not fun, but they do it because they want their kids to play. It does increase transportation costs. It does create a situation for athletic directors that makes our job harder, but it is what we do. So therefore, it's something that we all deal with. The last thing, every school had an opportunity to speak in Orange County. Every school had the same exact opportunity. In the appeal, I read the word bullying. There's no bullying. Every school had the same chance to speak at every single time. And this is the result we come up with. The process has to mean something to all of us. It has to mean something to the council. I would hope that, and I know that in my conference, in my league, that if something happened in your respective area where an appeal came to us, we were not at all the meetings. We were not there to see every conversation. That went on for 6 or 7 months. We'd hope that we would say no and abstain because we weren't there, I wasn't there to see it. The process was solid. It was ran well by a very respected human being. The county, 67% of the schools voted for this. Please vote no on this appeal. Thank you.
Any other presentations? Or are we on to questions? If we have questions, you can either, Mr. Middlebrook can come to you. Seeing no questions, I think we are ready for a vote. Oh, no questions? Okay, Ms. Hodge, let's vote.
Voting is open. Voting is closed. Motion fails. 8:55:24.
Thank you. Moving on to our next appeal with Woodbridge High School.
Good morning, Lindsay Gorzicki, principal of Woodbridge High School. Given the most recent vote, Woodbridge High School is going to withdraw our appeal. Thank you.
Thank you, Woodbridge. Moving on to Irvine High School.
Good morning, everybody. Jeffrey Hernandez, principal of Irvine High School. Based off the last vote, Irvine High School also will be taking back their appeal.
Thank you, Irvine High School. University High School.
University High School respectfully withdraws its appeals. Thank you.
Thank you, University. Northwood High School.
Northwood High School respectfully withdraws our appeal.
Thank you, Northwood. Rosary Academy. Thank you, Rosary.
Good morning. I'm Sean Bassford. I'm the principal at Rosary Academy, an all-girls school in Fullerton, if you didn't know. We are here to respectfully request that our school be removed from the Pacific Coast Conference and placed into the Trinity League. You heard that right. Our replacement in the PCC 2 years ago and again in the most recent cycle did not address our 2023 request for relief. The core issue is that the Pacific Coast Conference lacks a governing structure or a consistent philosophy for how teams are placed. This absence of oversight has led to decisions that do not align with CIF's competitive equity model, and in many cases have disadvantaged our student athletes. Excuse me. 2 years ago, during the last Orange County Releaguing cycle, we applied for relief as a member of the Trinity League. We sought a conference model that would allow our stronger programs to thrive and give our developing teams room to grow. We were placed in the Pacific Coast Conference. What followed was a year of planning that proved both interesting and frustrating. Without bylaws or rules to guide conference operations, we encountered significant challenges, especially in trying to establish a two-league system for sports with 9 or more participating schools. For the 2025 releaguing cycle, we again hope to rejoin our Trinity League partners through a Trinity Conference model. Unfortunately, that proposal finished no higher than 3rd out of 18, and we were once again placed in the PCC. The fundamental issue remains the Pacific Coast Conference lacks an overarching organizational philosophy. Decisions are made in ways that reward only the top teams rather than distributing success equitably across 2 leagues. In sports with fewer than 8 participating schools, we're happy to compete in smaller leagues. Transportation to South Orange County schools is not ideal, but that's not the reason for our appeal. The real problem is the unwillingness of the members' schools to embrace the competitive equity model that CIF uses for playoffs. Our desire is to return to the Trinity League and realign our co-ed sports with our brother school survey. While we may still face challenges in league standings, we at least understand the structure and expectations of the Trinity League. We seek a return to a stable and familiar environment, one that supports our athletes and aligns with CIF principles. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Presentations?
Good morning. My name is Karen Kakipi. I'm the athletic director at Orange Lutheran High School and the Trinity League rep. The Trinity League supports the process that was led by Paul Lopez that occurred for Orange County releaguing. We support the proposal that was approved, and we request that you vote no on this appeal.
Thanks, Amy. Any other presentations?
Megan Sid again. So Rosary obviously is in our conference. Everything that I said before I believe still applies in regards to competitive equity, geography, and school enrollment. And I do want to state that in the Pacific Coast Conference, 9 out of the 13 sports that we offer for girls do operate in 2 leagues, not in 1. And the only reason why the 4 operate in 1 is because we don't have enough schools to offer 2 leagues yet. But with the addition of Pacifica Christian, that may happen. Thank you. We respectfully request that you vote no on the appeal. Thank you.
Any more presentations? I'm sorry, Big 8? Thank you. Do I have a second? Southwestern? Thank you, Southwestern. Any other questions? No? All right, let's call the vote, please, Ms. Hodge.
Voting is open. Seconds. Voting is closed. Motion fails 10-51-25.
Thank you, Ms. Hodge. Moving to our next school on the list, Laguna Beach High School.
Respectfully withdraw.
Withdraw. Thank you, Laguna Beach High School. Next school on the list is St. Margaret's.
St. Margaret's also withdraws.
Thank you, St. Margaret's. Sage Hill.
Sage Hill respectfully withdraws our.
Thank you, Sage Hill. Pacifica Christian, Orange County.
Pacific Christian withdraws.
Thank you, Pacifica. Wow. Thank you, everyone, for your participation in that process. Respectfully, I appreciate everyone's candor and honesty and forthrightness. Mr. Commissioner, in Mr. Imbriani's absence, would you please give us the treasurer's report?
Be happy to.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. Imbriani is on a road trip out to Texas with his team. He's asked that I stand in for him reading the treasurer's report. So in the CIF-SOUTHERN section annual audit of 24-25, the finance audit engagement contract was with a company called Wendy's and is scheduled field work for this coming November. We'll have results of that come out this spring. In our pre-audit profile and profit and loss for 24-25, we had a revenue of $8,460,252 and expenses of $8,312,500 for a net profit of $147,752 over the course of that year. This is pre-audit financials. Long-term liability pension and expenses with CalPERS entries still need to be added, so it is not a complete final number yet, but it is getting close. In 24-25, the capital outlay, we had some work done on the building. It's not the newest building, and there were some things that needed to be addressed. A total of $247,000 in capital asset expenditures were used to update our small conference room IT, complete our new roofing, and replace our HVAC units. We had to remove and replace the solar units that we have already there, and we improved our building security processes. All of these were necessary for upkeep and safety. And then when it comes to our membership and our sports fees, there are a total of 551 member schools. 451 have paid their dues, that's 82%. 542 have at least created invoices, which is 98%. Sports fees are due annually on October 1st. And that is the treasurer's report. Thank you.
I'm clumsy as fuck on. Thank you again, everyone, for being here today, and thank you for the treasurer's report. Again, this is another, I hope everyone's start of the year has been strong. We are halfway through the fall and looking forward to the impending fall championships that are coming up sooner than we think. I am pleased at the work that all of you are doing at your school sites, and so excited for what's coming up shortly. When we got our census numbers from both the state and the National Federation this summer, A little joy in my heart had me skipping down the pathway. We had some of the best numbers that we had in the state ever. You know that we had more athletes participating than we've ever had in the state of California. Overall, our participation, not only in the section but across the state, is up, especially for girls. We had a 3.1 increase from the previous year for girls and a 0.8 increase in the state for boys. Most impressively, near to my heart, 84% increase in girls flag football. And we had almost 20,000 girls playing girls flag football in the state last year. That's huge. And that's because of you guys, right? And your colleagues across the state getting out there. And most recently at the National Federation Conference, both in Chicago this summer and in Las Vegas just a few weeks ago. Dr. Niehoff shared with us that over 50% of the girls across the country playing girls flag football are not playing another sport. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's drawing kids that weren't already doing something else. That's what we meant to do. Look what we did, you guys. That's kind of cool. So thank you for that. But we had a record year in our state in terms of participation and in our section. And I just thank you for the work. We're trudging through some ugly times in our country, and education gets put in the middle a lot. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Let's just try to keep our eye on the prize of our kids and what their experience with education-based athletics is supposed to be for. I applaud you every day, and I thank you for the work you do. And know that if nobody else said it to you today, or last week, or last month, or next week, you're doing amazing work that's changing lives of kids, and thank you. That's the end of my report. Mr. Commissioner, it is your turn.
Thank you. Once again, good morning, everybody. I want to start off my report by thanking Sharon Hodge for keeping track of all of our votes and setting up our rooms and making sure that this runs as smoothly as it possibly can. I also really want to thank our assistant commissioners and our program coordinators. We've had it's always a busy August, it's always a busy September. This year was a little bit busier than most, which I'll go into in a little bit. But without their assistance, without their dedication, it would be impossible to run everything that we do. And in particular, we're coming up on championship planning. I know that there's many commissioners working on winter sports right now as well. So there's a lot that's going on with that. So can't thank you enough for all of your time, energy, and effort. Also, Jackie and Bree for the planning on the summit, and the planner, which will be going out to everybody that's been there. It'd be great. And I'd be remiss if I didn't wish happy birthday to Erin Quartermarsh. Her birthday is tomorrow. So if she's around, wish her a happy birthday. Our Champions for Character took place on Monday. It was a great event. We recognized many deserving athletes with some great stories, some great energy and enthusiasm. We had some coaches, administrators, and so on. It was a wonderful event. I strongly encourage you, when come this spring, when we are starting to ask for nominations, think about who you can nominate. We have some great people that continue to make nominations in their area from their schools or their leagues, and we love seeing them. But man, it would be great if we could expand that reach to some other new schools and new areas. It would be wonderful. We can find other individuals to recognize as well. But it was phenomenal. Coming up on October 6th is our summit. It's sold out once again. We've got a tremendous number of people being there. We've got excellent speakers. If you have signed up and for some reason recognize that you're not able to go, please let us know. We've got a waiting list of 30 individuals wanting to get in. And so if we get some cancellations, if you just for whatever reason you can't go, we need to make some accommodations in room for some others. So look forward to seeing all of you there. Hopefully you guys have all signed up to be there. Again, we've got some great tracks and great things going on for that. On October 21st is our Hall of Fame. That'll be coming up here very quickly. We've got some excellent recognition going on with those. We've got some phenomenal people that are being recognized, and for both Distinguished Service and for Hall of Fame, so stay tuned for that, okay? I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in the office. And I'm not going to go into any specific schools, but we've had a real influx of the submission and identification of fraudulent paperwork that has been very, very significant in our end, and it's very disheartening in many respects that it's coming through. And it's no fault of you guys. There's only so much that you can do to make sure that the paperwork that's coming in and so on and so forth. It's those that are providing you this paperwork that are really the ones that are at fault for this, if you will. And it's unfortunate that we've actually become very adept at identifying much of this paperwork. And it's almost like you can't not see it anymore. And again, it's very, very frustrating. And so we've gone to the point where we've got to find a way to stop it. And the only way we're going to stop it is just truly, once we see it, we've just got to address it the way that the Blue Book says we should, which is a bylaw 202 violation. And we run into students, unfortunately, paying the price for up to 2 years of ineligibility. Advice, talk to your athletes and your parents when they're coming in for a valid change of residence. Make sure they are understanding of what some consequences are if for some reason they're submitting things that are in error. If you think something is a little bit hinky, if you're recognizing that, you know what, something just doesn't make sense to this, it's okay to question it. And it's okay to say no to a valid change of residence, okay? If it doesn't meet what the Blue Book says is what should be a valid change of residence, it's okay to say no to that. We're starting to look at those things as well. It's really those that are the biggest issues that we're running into, okay? So please understand that we're doing our best to keep things rolling. And with your support and help, hopefully we will stem the tide and we'll see some improvement moving down the line. So. A couple last comments, if I would. Heston Kwan, who is our photographer, has been a photographer for us that we've contracted with for years. He was in an unfortunate accident on the first football game of the year. He was using a brand new lens, and the depth of field was different than his old lens. And so his old lens would have told him, I've got a little time to move. His new lens said, I got a little time to move. The old lens would have said, I got to get out of the way quick. Unfortunately, he got run into, broke his leg in a few places. Taking pictures for one of the schools. He's on the mend, he's doing well, but just want to make sure that everybody recognizes Heston as a valued member of our family. And we miss him right now, but we're hoping that we can get him back here pretty quick. And finally, Taylor Martinez. Taylor is she's the one that does all of our video editing and video production, our TV show, so many different things. She's got a significant other, a boy, and that boy got a new job, a job that he really, really has been looking for his entire career. And so she's going to be moving out of state with him. And so we're going to be finding someone else to fill her shoes, if you will, and we really wish nothing but the best for Taylor. She's done a great things for us and gotten us to new heights as far as our telecommunications, everything in so many different ways. I appreciate her, and then we will see if we can find someone to fill those shoes. So Taylor, thank you very much, and congratulations on your And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Looking forward at our advanced spelling, he mentioned most of those dates already. I really do hope to see many of you, if not all of you, at our Administrator Summit that the team has worked really hard on October 6th, and again at the Hall of Fame Distinguished Service Luncheon on the 21st here in this room. Our executive committee will have our retreat and our next meeting at the Mission Inn in Riverside, January 16th through the 18th. And the next council meeting will be here in this room on January 27th. And, ooh, I forgot my one thing I get to do. Right? If there is nothing else, then I will call our meeting adjourned at 9:53 a.m. Thank you, everyone.